Hello traders, welcome to the channel. Seller won the battle today, so what now? Well, hopefully if you are in any position, you have the stop loss in place. So in case your holdings go against you, you don't lose a lot of money. Or if you have the patience, you can sit on the sideline because cash is a position. If you want to trade and you find stocks that you believe in, maybe take a smaller position instead of go all in. So take precaution. As you can see, the market is still undecided which way to go. It closed below the 200 MA, but it's still above this shorter term uptrend. So until the market give us clear indication of whether it wants to go up or go down, maybe the best thing for us to do is to build our watch list. So today I have 9 stocks and ETFs I want to share with you. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purpose only. So without further ado, let's look at the first one. First one I have is LABD. This is the biotech bear 3X. So this is the daily chart. You can see that actually it took a long time to build this bottom, and right now it has created this uptrend, and looks like it's ready to. It looks like it pulled back and found support near the 50, and it's ready to go back up again. If you come to the weekly chart, zoom in. On the weekly, it's just crossed above the 50 MA on the weekly, and then so the 200 is at about $18. I think it's gonna find some resistance near this price range at about 12 and a quarter. But then if you look at it, that's 50% again if it can get there. So on the risk side, you can use the the low of, oh, that's too deep. This one I wouldn't go for the options. This one I would go for the stock because it's not a very pricey ETF. So if you go with the stock, maybe 6, 7%, 8%. But then like I said, the upward potential is 40, 50%. So that's the first one. The second one I have is BITO. That's the Bitcoin. So we looked at it this yesterday. So looks like it's trying to pull back to trend. And what we need right now is for the buyers to step in, maybe form a candle like this. I don't have that drawing tool. Maybe have a green candle here passing above 1945-ish. Then that's when, for me, that's when I will jump in because the risk is about 2%, and then the reward is at least 6%. And then if it can get through that resistance, it can come to the 50 and 200 MA. That's about 10%. 10% gain. That's a good risk reward ratio. And then the next one I have is also a ETF. That's KRE. That's regional banking. And this one also formed a short-term uptrend, but it's also struggling, battling with the 200 MA. And then I think if we come to the weekly chart, you can see that there is some resistance here. Oh, well, was some resistance here at about $56 range, and that's also where it found support recently. Uh, that's also the 50 MA area. And then if you look at the 50 and 200 MA on the weekly, it looks like the 50 is about to cross above the 200. That's a golden cross. But also keep in mind this is in the short term the downtrend. So even though it could form a golden cross, keep in mind that this one's still in a short term downtrend. But uh, if you get into this one, um, this reward may not be too much for the time being, but the risk is also small. You can risk about 2%, and then the reward is about 5%. If you do the option of this ETF, that's still going to be decent profit. Another one is PYPL, PayPal. PayPal formed this bottom here. I found it took maybe a week and a half to form this bottom here, and then now it has made a higher low and this short-term uptrend. So this one, maybe I would wait for buyer to step in. Maybe after the price get above $71.10. That's when I would jump in with a 2% to a 2.2% risk and the potential upside to here about the 200 moving average area. That's 6%, and if it can surpass that, the next one is about 10% to the this recent high here. Next one is CVS. CVS on the let's look at the weekly on the CVS first. So CVS was in the downtrend, but recently it passed the 50 MA on the weekly, and it's consolidating. This is a big green candle that week in February, and it's just right now it's just consolidating here. See, it never broke down. It's in this uptrend, so it has pulled back to the trend. I think it's ready to go higher because of this resistance area. So it's trying to digest the resistance here, and once the buyer step in, that's when it can possibly go higher to tackle this resistance area, those recent past highs, and that's also, as you can see, that's also the 200 MA area. So that's that CVS. Next one I have is NEN. This is a gold stock. So this one, if we look at the trend, um, see this one it formed a double bottom back in December of last year, and then it started to go up. And then when it found resistance, it pulled back, and then it found support near the 50 MA and near the past resistance area, and then it went back up and then found some resistance again, and then it pulled back again, found support near the 50 MA, and then formed another um, bottom here, and then went back again. Find so this area here is a pretty strong resistance, so it got stuck there, but then it pulled back. Look, notice it didn't pull back as deep as this one. It just pulled back to the 200 MA and found support. And now is trying to go back up. So I think this one has great potential. If you go get in, you know, get a green candle and then get in. That's when, because that's when the market is telling us the buyer is stepped in. So if you get in somewhere here and then take a risk of 3%, it can tackle the recent high and then come to this resistance area that's 5% ish. And then if it can get past that, then it will can tackle this big red candle. Then that's a decent return over 16% potential. Next one I have is also, I think it's also a gold stock, KGC. This one, if you come to the weekly chart, it, it's at all-time high. Oh, no, no. If we go back, no, a recent high. But then if we go this back, you can see that it has formed a bottom. It has tried to come up and then pulled back, and it has passed this high here. And now the next area is probably over here at about the $14.8 range. That's a easily over 10% gain. And then the risk is about, let's go from the top, it's about 3%. Or if you get in somewhere in the middle, that's probably 3% ish. Yeah, 3%. So that's that one. Next one I have is Kroger. Kroger, I was in this trade. I did a video back when in the middle of this day when it was a bigger green candle, and then it came back down. I said back then this one is at an all-time high. So even though I got in early that day, it came back down. I said this. I look at it as the first attempt to make an all-time high. Well, that didn't happen. I got stopped out. But look, it found support near the 50 MA, and then it shoot up. Actually made a all-time high, but then it came back down. Looks like look closely at the candles after it make the all-time high though. Small candles consolidating. It never dropped um, um, out of this big green candle range, so it's still above the 50 MA. I think it's the buyer has. I think the buyer is about to drive this stock even higher. So this one, I think it has the potential to tackle this recent high, and then once it make another all-time high, the sky is the limit, right? So that's Kroger. The last one I have here is PCG. PCG, I did a video in my last video. I this is in the last video. I still like this chart because the market is choppier than this one. Because this one, after it formed this trend and it came to this resistance area, it didn't pull back very hard. Instead, it just consolidated in this range, very tight consolidation. So this one, the risk is small, 2%, 2.5% maybe, and then the potential target is here to the 200, and also this resistance area. That's what, 8%, and then if it can pass that to this high here, that's 10%, and then it can come all the way to here or even here. So I know it won't go straight up there, but this one has great potential in my opinion, because there's this gap it wants to fill. So that's all the stocks and ETFs I'm watching. So hopefully you find some value in this video. Until next time, see you. Bye bye.